What's up YouTube, this is Demkeys back again with another Unity tutorial. So recently I started learning how to create my own FPS character controller. Basically I wanted to create my own FPS controller rather than use the standard character controller provided with Unity. The advantage here is that I can learn how things work, and so if needed I can make my own adjustments so that the controller behaves exactly how I want it to behave, and I won't be limited to using the features of that one controller provided by Unity. Don't get me wrong, it's the one provided by Unity is very useful, especially for people who don't do a lot of scripting, but I wanted to learn how to make my own. So anyways, on with the tutorial. I haven't finished the tutorial completely because it's divided into many parts and it's quite long, but I wanted to teach you what I've learned so far because at the beginning itself they taught me something that I did not know, and I feel other people might also be having a problem with this. Um, you'll see in a little bit what I'm talking about. Uh, Now if you have gone through the same FPS tutorial that I'm currently going through, some of you might say that this is a copy of that tutorial. Well, you're not wrong. It is actually a copy. I'm teaching you the same method that I learned from that tutorial, but in my own way. I must apologize in advance because there are many concepts in this video that I won't be able to explain very well, mostly because I've never been very good at mathematics. I'm not gonna lie to you, I sucked big time, which is why I'm not the best person to explain math related terms to you. But Unity's website can be very useful in this case. You'll have to do your own research, but trust me, you'll find whatever I'm teaching over here, you will find it on Unity's website. Things like quaternion or quaternion.euler or mathf, such things you'll be able to find them on Unity's website. Another thing I must apologize for is, I don't know if you're able to hear it or not, but the window AC in my room, there's there are water drops falling on it from the outside, and so if you are able to hear that sound, I'm sorry, but I cannot do anything about that, so bear with me. So anyways, on with the tutorial for the second time. So yeah, we have an empty scene over here. Ignore these two scripts. I just left them there for reference. We are not going to use these two. It's just if I forget any scripts and any lines of code in between, then these can help me out. So yeah, we have an empty scene over here, and the only thing in the scene is our main camera. I created this project, by the way, in what's the word I'm looking for? 3D setup. Just a minute. Yeah, it's in. It's got defaults for 3D, not 2D, because, well, FPS. So yeah, we are going to start by creating a plane. This is the surface that our character is going to walk on. Just make it big enough, and also I'm gonna place a few objects just so when the camera is rotating you'll be able to notice the difference. What did I just create? Oh, sorry about that. Cube. Yep. Okay, I guess that should do it. Now, one point light, it helps. Okay, now we are going to create our player. Start by creating a capsule. uh, as the name suggests, it is in the shape of a capsule. And excuse me just a minute, this should be a little higher. Okay, so yeah, this is a capsule. It's got a capsule collider attached to it. This is what we will use as our player. I'm gonna rename the object player, and I'm going to make the main camera a child of the player object. This is because our main camera is going to be used for viewing. Well, this is what you're going to see through. This is what your FPS character is going to see through. So yeah, next. Oh, oops, sorry. Yeah, now we start by creating. Wow, shit! I just realized I did not tell you what exactly you will be learning. I'm really sorry about that. Okay, what I'm going to teach you today is how to create a MouseLook script. Basically, when you move your mouse, the camera is going to move along with it. So it's the same as in any FPS game. You move the mouse, and your character's vision moves along with the mouse. And also, I'm going to show you the solution to certain problems that beginners have when they try to play around with this MouseLook script. And yeah, that's just about it. So we're gonna call this MouseLook script O1 because I already have a script called MouseLook script created from before. Okay, now I'm going to create a bunch of variables. Since I won't be explaining a lot of the functions to you, like I said, you'll have to do your own research. So you might not be able to understand why these variables are being used until you understand how the function works. If I'm able to explain, there is one function that I might be able to explain. It's called smooth damp. Um, well, anyways, you'll see. What do I need first? Look sensitivity. We're gonna set this to 5F. Next, we need X rotation and Y rotation, and what next? Current X rotation and current Y rotation, and yes, X rotation velocity and Y rotation velocity, and the last one will be look smooth damp. I hope I'm not missing anything here. Let's set this one's value to 0.1 F. Okay, now we're gonna start by making our camera move. it's gonna be something really basic, and I'm gonna show you how that works, and after that we'll build up on that. So you start by using x rotation minus equals input dot get axis. You're gonna get the value from mouse x axis. I don't know if I said that right, and you're gonna multiply it with look sensitivity. Same goes for y, but in the case of y you will use plus, and you'll change yes. Now I cannot explain to you why I'm using minus over here and plus over here, and why, although this is x rotation, I'm using mouse y, and this is y rotation, I'm using mouse x. I cannot explain how that works. I myself haven't been able to understand that yet, but I'm sure once I look into it a little more, I'll understand it. So yeah, to apply the rotation to the camera, you have to set the rotation. For that, you will type transform.rotation equals quaternion. Quaternion is okay, like I said, I'm not the best person to explain this to you, but according to the Unity website, quaternions are used to represent rotations. Um, so yeah, mostly the stuff that has to deal with rotation while you're scripting, you would use quaternion, or whatever comes under quaternion. It's got a bunch of functions under it, one of which we are using right now. It's called Euler. I did not understand why it's spelled, why it's pronounced as Euler, but yeah, I heard many people pronouncing it like that, so I'm also pronouncing it the same way. So yeah, quaternion dot Euler takes three parameters, one for x, one for y, and one for z. Uh, what do we need to apply it to? X and y. Yes, we need to apply our values to x and y. Alright, now let's run the game and see if this works. Cool, it works. You might notice something over here. This is because I haven't placed the camera properly. But yeah, you can see when I move my mouse to the left, the camera rotates left. When I move it to the right, it rotates right. I look up and down and all. So yeah, now you'll notice while I'm moving the camera, it's not very smooth. It's got this weird, I don't know, I guess you'll call it stucky kind of feeling. I don't know if stucky is even a word, but you can notice it. It's kind of annoying. What we need to do is smooth out the rotation. One of the methods to do that is, well, the method that I've learned to do that is to use mathf.smoothDam. Oh, before that, uh, let me run the game and show you something. Now, our character is able to rotate his head in this weird way. You do not want this. Like if it's a regular FPS game, in most cases you usually don't want this. You want to limit it. So in this case, what we are going to do is use current X rotation, change the value of current X rotation to, well, actually I can just change the value of X rotation alone right now. X rotation equals mathf.clamp. Okay, so I cannot explain the values to you why I entered these values, but I can explain the function. Basically, this function clamp, it clamps our value, the value of x rotation will be clamped between these two values. It won't go above, it won't go below. It'll always be between these two values. You can see the effect right now. I hope I entered the values properly. Let's see. Just a minute. Maybe I should move the character a little bit so you can, sorry. There. Now you can actually see it stops. I cannot look past that point, and I don't know how to show it over here because I'm just looking at the ground, but yeah, you can see it's stopped over here, and it stops there as well. You cannot uh, rotate like full 360 degrees. That doesn't happen. So yeah, we are good with that. Next, we are going to smooth out the rotation. For that, we have to set the value of current x rotation and current y rotation, and later we are going to use those two values in our function quaternion.euler. Okay, mathf.smoothDamp. This function is used to smooth the transition between I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it smooths the transition from one value to another. Let me see if Unity can give me a better explanation. Okay, so the explanation from Unity is gradually changes a value towards a desired goal over time. The value is smoothed by some spring damper like function which will never overshoot. The function can be used to smooth any kind of value, positions, colors, and scalars. So yeah, you get what it's used for. So we have to set the value of current x rotation. So that'll be our current value, and we have to set it to the target, which is x rotation. And here we have to I haven't understood what this is used for exactly. I mean, maybe it's to provide to specify the speed at which the transition will take place. I have no idea, because although the value for this has been set to it's nothing, it's basically 0. While I'm rotating the camera, you'll actually see the values changing. So I think it gives us the value on its own. It just requires a variable to do that. So yeah, you provide the variable. Here we will use x rotation velocity, and our fourth parameter will be look smooth damp. Okay, now I'll copy this and do the same thing for current y rotation. And now I'll change these values, sorry, these variables, and let's see if it has any effect. Well, I don't know if you noticed the effect or not, but yeah, there is actually a difference between the previous one and the current one. Let's experiment with it. Let's see which one is better. I'm sure you can see the difference. You can actually play around with these values, like say if I change this to 0.4, let's see what happens. It's become even more smoother, and well, the response of your camera is a little later than the actual mouse movement. But yeah, you might require that in certain cases. Whatever, I mean, you get the point. This is how you can smooth out the rotation. Now, here's one problem that I faced earlier when I tried to create an FPS controller. I didn't really know what I was doing. So I just looked up the script on how to rotate the camera based on mouse movements. Okay, I got that problem figured out, but then I had another problem. The camera would rotate, but the object that it's attached to would not rotate. Basically, our player over here would not rotate with the camera. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to attach a movement script O1 again because I have previously made another script. So yeah, okay. Let's use okay X force and let's just use force. I'm sorry, I can't remember the short line of code that I was supposed to use for this, so I'm just going to use the long line. Wait, wait. Okay, so let's see if this works. Wait, I'm gonna give it a very small value. Sorry, not this. This one. Okay, okay. Uh, I think I applied the value to the wrong axis. I should have called it Z-force probably instead of Y-force. But it's okay, the name doesn't really matter, it's a variable. So we wanted to move along the z-axis and the x-axis because that would be front, back, left, right. Along the y-axis would be up and down. Okay, so you can see I'm able to move front, back, left, right. That's all good. Now watch what happens when I turn my camera. I've turned to the right and I'm going to press forward. See that? The movement is all weird. It's as though the character is drunk or something. This is because our camera is rotating, but let me show you something. Over here in the scene view, oh, okay. Notice when I move, you can see the capsule is not rotating at all. And so our player, our capsule that we have the movement script attached to, it's going to move along its x-axis and its z-axis. Its front and back and left and right is not the same as the front, back and left and right of our camera. Now if we want to, okay, I don't know if what I just said made any sense or not, but yeah, if you want the player to turn with the camera, you have to add some code to the movement script. What did I just do? Okay, yeah, here we will create an empty game object and call it camera o1, and we'll go back to the inspector panel and drag our main camera to camera 1. Now from the script we are going from the script, yeah, from the script we are going to access another variable from another script. We'll access the current Y rotation, I think. Yeah, the current Y rotation from our mouse script o1 script. We'll do it like this. Yeah, transform dot rotation equals quaternion dot Euler 0 for the x-axis, because okay, you have to understand something about rotations. When you talk about rotating uh, on x, y or z, you're talking about rotating along the x-axis. So if you rotate along the x-axis, you'll either rotate towards the left side or towards the right side. Like basically you'll look towards the left side or towards the right side. If you rotate along the y-axis, you will rotate, sorry, I said that wrong. Oops. If you rotate along the y-axis, you will rotate to the right side or the left side, and if you rotate along the x-axis, then you will rotate upwards and downwards. If you rotate along the z-axis, then your capsule is going to rotate in a weird way. I'll show you what I mean by switching the values. First I'll show you the actual working thing. Camera 1 dot get component mouse script o1 dot current, wait, what's wrong? Oh, okay. Current Y rotation, comma, 0. Let's see if this works. Pay attention to the capsule over here. You can see the colliders and the meshes. The mesh and the collider. You'll find out if it's rotating. There, it works. So now our capsule is rotating along with the camera. Let me show you what would happen if I would okay, let's leave the y-axis value as it is, and we'll also access the current x rotation variable from the MouseLook script. Watch what happens. See, we can move left and right, but we can also rotate up and down. See, you don't want this. Well, if you want it, it's a different thing. But usually in FPS controllers, you don't want this to happen. So that's the reason why we only rotate along the x-axis and not along sorry, again, no, that's the reason why we only rotate along the y-axis and not along x or z. Just for fun's sake, let me show you what happens if we rotate along. Wait, we don't have any rotation along z, do we? No, I'll just apply the same value of x, or no, I'll apply the same value of y along the z-axis as well. In fact, yeah, let's make y 0 and apply y's rotation along the x-axis. Let's see how our capsule behaves. Okay, so you see what I mean by rotating along the axis. This is why we are only using the y-axis. Okay, just to show you that it is actually working. Okay, we can move, we can look around and all. There. Let me show you the same thing in our scene view. Sorry about that. Yep, there you have it. So this is how you create a MouseLook script and how you get the player to rotate along with the camera. I think I made this tutorial too long, but hey, if it was helpful, why not? So yeah, I hope this tutorial was helpful, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.